Hey everyone, you're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and these are my comics. This is my weekly pull list video for July 11th, 2018. As tradition, my weekly pull list has to go with my breakfast/lunch of a delicious In-N-Out double-double. I pretty much always go with the same thing. I get an In-N-Out, say a double-double with onions, add pickles, extra spread, and then add ketchup. I feel bad for any one of you guys that doesn't have In-N-Out nearby. It's fantastic. I look forward to this every week. I celebrate comics with my favorite burger. Yeah, well. And through the magic of completely amateur video making, I have finished my sandwich and we're back to looking at comics. This week was a pretty good pull for me. I know some of you guys get tons and tons of comics. I don't want to get that invested anymore. I don't want to have, you know, a storage shed full of long boxes. So here we go. Alright, so this week, starting off with another gorgeous alt cover of Flash. These are, they're just fantastic. What can you say? And I'm sad that I missed the beginning ones. DC has converted me on alternate covers. I just like these a lot. So here you go. Superman #1. The total BS issue for Brian Michael Bendis' run on Superman. This one had 2 alternate covers that I saw. I think the other one, I can't remember who the other one was. So this one had the kind of watercolors look. It just was kind of different. It was also the one they pulled for me, and so I just stuck with it. I decided not to drop this off of my pull list, even though Man of Steel #6 was a big letdown. I think I was a little bit too nice, actually, when I think about my review for it. The series itself was good. 1 through 5 were good. And Bendis shows that he is a skilled writer. Not just talented, but he's got skill. And he was doing some things in that comic that most modern writers don't know how to do. Or at least they don't show they know how to do. And I was really excited. I was like, great, this is the Bendis I was actually thinking we were going to get. And then issue 6, watch my review to see what issue 6 was. So I decided to give another chance. However, I'm going to see what Superman #1 is. This still should not be #1. It should be whatever the last Superman issue was, +1. Detective Comics 984. Brian Hill. I picked this up purely because of Brian Hill. As I stated before with 983, he's doing a 5-issue arc. The first issue of the arc, 983, was really good. Very excited to see where this goes. Brian is a fantastic professional on social media who seems to really care about his fans, seems to really care about developing himself as a writer. He's very humble. And this book is good. I don't know about this specific one, I haven't read it, but I'm going to read it very soon because the last one really earned it. Immortal Men #4. This is my favorite series of the New Age of Heroes. I've talked about this book. You can see my videos. I really like how this has sort of an X-Men feel to it. I like that there's a lot of mythos and world building potential in the book. I kind of like everything about it. So, and James Tinney in the fourth is a writer that I like. So, $2.99. Why aren't you picking this up? I don't know. Black Ops 1 of 2. Timothy Lim won me over with My Hero Macadamia. He is awesome on Twitter, social media. He's a funny guy. He's a very nice guy. I want to support creators that are doing good work. He did a good job on My Hero Macadamia, so it's a low-risk 2-issue series here. Try it out. I got the second to the last one on the shelf. These are probably going to be hard to find, like My Hero. Probably going into reprints, so I'm glad I picked this one up. Oblivion Song. What can I say? This is great sci-fi indie comic. I think I'm going to do a big review. I'm going to go through the first 5 issues of this and talk about it, and see if I can win you over, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe turn you off. Who knows? Speaking of Robert Kirkman, how does Robert Kirkman write so many comics? I think that guy's writing like 6 comics right now. I don't know. He's got another comic. If you're not sure who Robert Kirkman is, for some reason, he's the guy who did Walking Dead, which is still running and still probably the biggest independent comic ever. He's got a new comic that no one knew until yesterday. Not even the comic book stores. They literally just surprise shipped, said, hey, boom, here's a new comic. I think that's a really cool way to market a comic. They aren't doing the Marvel bullshit of, hey, look, we just celebrated Spider-Man 800. 2 months later, we're rebooting back to 1 and selling you 35 variant covers. F you, Marvel. Bullshit. Quit treating your fans like shit. None of them, if they wise up, none of them would be buying your stupid books. They would be buying stuff like this. I don't actually know if this book is good. Robert Kirkman is a proven writer. This might be too violent for some people's tastes. I picked it up because I think it was so cool what they did. They're just like, here, how many... I think the store was telling me that based on however many orders of Oblivion Song 1 they had done, they just shipped them an identical amount of orders for this book. So, Oblivion Song was not known, no one knew it was going to be a hit, so there was very low orders. There were like 2 or 3 of these on the shelf when I got to the store a few minutes after opening. So, yeah. If you're a collector, you should at least keep your eye out for this. I'm going to give it a chance. And finally, Xerxes. Frank Miller is... If there was a Mount Rushmore, I think Frank Miller, you could make a good argument for Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, Stan Lee, and Frank Miller. And people might say, oh my God, Ash, you're a freaking idiot. Like, Frank Miller's work is not bullshit. Dark Knight Returns alone, he reinvented probably the singular, most popular, and most iconic superhero character of all time. Yes, some people are going to say, no, Superman. No, it's Batman. And Frank Miller did it not once, but twice. He also did Year One, lest you forget. Yes, Frank Miller is not prolific, but the stories that he did were all just mind-blowing. His run on Daredevil, his independent, he did that. If you've never read Ronin, fantastic. He is a writer and an artist. Started off as an artist, very popular artist, transitioned into writing. One of the only cases you've ever seen of an artist who goes into writing and becomes even way more popular for his writing than his art. And Frank Miller was a popular artist in his day. He's older now. His writing isn't up to the same level, but nothing that Stan Lee, Ditko, or Jack Kirby has ever written equals the best of what Frank Miller has written. And Frank Miller is, to modern comics, in my opinion, of what those guys are to Silver Age and before. These guys, Frank Miller is just a legend. He's kind of like what, for filmmakers, what George Lucas is. I shouldn't even have to prompt him up. You either know Frank Miller or you don't. So I get Xerxes. I love 300. Frank Miller is my favorite comic creator of all time. I'll buy whatever he does. So that's this week's pull list. Hope you found something valuable out of there. Hopefully maybe enticed you to try something out. Let me know what you're getting. If you do your own pull list, plug it below. I will be happy to come check it out. I love watching other people's pull lists, especially if you tell me about the books you're buying a little bit, or maybe why you're buying it, instead of just showing a selection of books. Either way, thank you for watching and giving me your time, and I hope I'll see you again. Bye.